Hi, I'm Oleg Aristarkov. I'm owner of Moraine Winery located in Aromata Bench in Penticton. And we would like to, I would like to introduce our winemaker, lovely lady Jacqueline Camp.
Hi there.
And we got some new vintage wines this year, and we'd like to share our tasting notes and our excitement on these new wines with you guys.
Also, quickly like to show you our winery too, which you haven't necessarily got to see in the past, and our new bottling line, which is key for our quality here at Moraine. So we're going to show you our white wines first that we've made this year. Our first wine is our 2013 Cliffhanger White, which is a blend between Pinot Gris and Gewürztraminer. The grapes come from our site, which we'll show you later. So this is a lovely little wine, especially when it's chilled nice and cold. It's got a lot of Gewürz aromatics to it, so lots of lychee, and there's also a lot of little bits of melon coming through as well. Our Cliffhanger White was made here in the winery in 100% stainless steel tanks. We fermented very cool and slow to preserve as many aromatics as we could as possible. We've got a lot of Gewürztraminer and Pinot Gris flavours coming in, so lots of lychee and a little bit of melon, a little bit of residual sugar as well, just to balance the back palate, but it's a lovely little wine.
It's a beautiful wine to have just on the summertime on the deck, easy drinking, a lot of flavors. Yeah, very enjoyable wine.
Our 2013 Pinot Gris is made from our free-run juice from our Pinot Gris that's grown here. It's a very special wine to us because the free-run is just the very small drops that fall from the berries when it just enters the press, and it has a lot of aromatic qualities and high acidity, but it doesn't have the phenolics that are normally seen in a Pinot Gris. So it's a very special wine. It's just a very small amount of juice that comes off, and we make about 60 cases of this.
Yeah, so free run is basically we loaded the press, we turned it around, and whatever juice came under its own weight of the grapes, that's free run juice. So it's a premium wine, very limited amount, and selling very well in the tasting room right now, and it's available on the tasting room and on wine.
With this wine, we tend to serve it around 18 degrees, so a little bit warmer than what we'd serve our Cliffhanger White, which we normally see to be served around 12 to 15 degrees. So we want a little bit more warmth with this wine, so you can really see the aromatics shining in the structure of the wine. It's very delicate and is really nice at showing the soil where it's coming from right now. So our 2013 Pinot Gris goes really well with Asian foods, especially with lemongrass, cilantro, coriander, anything that's got a little bit of spice to it. Pinot Gris tends to show a little bit of spice in its youth, and it develops a little bit more structure when it's getting a bit older. So any sort of Asian foods, light fishes, or quite dense cheeses as well, it tends to show really nicely with.
Or on its own as well.
Or on its own.
As we said, we have a very limited amount of Pinot Gris, and it's selling very, very fast in our tasting room. So if you want to have some, so you have to order soon. And now we're moving to our Viognier 2013. And our Viognier was always a big hit among our clients. So it's a classy Viognier with beautiful melon aromas. It's a dry wine, and I'll say it's a nice food pairing wine. So, as you can see.
That's right. With Viognier, it's always a little bit tricky to grow in the valley here. Viognier tends to need a long growing season or a lot of what's called growing degree days. So our Viognier tends to get picked at the end of our picking season, around the end of October, November. What we want to see with a Viognier is a nice acid line to the wine. That way it can actually sit really nicely with lots of different food groups. Our Viognier again is 100% stainless steel fermented, and around 12 degrees, nice and slowly, and it actually gets a little bit of texture through this fermentation as well. This wine here is dry, And the reason we have it that way is to really show the soil. That's where the Viognier is grown from out here.
A lot of minerality and very long aftertaste on this wine.
This wine here will age for a good 5 to 10 years. It can actually probably push a little bit longer than that, but generally you will be drinking the Viognier 5-10 years time, and then after that might be a little bit far for this wine. But it's also tasting really nice now too. So if you're looking for a wine that you're wanting to age for a little bit longer, then the Viognier is probably the wine for you.
A nice pairing with oysters or other kind of seafood. Yeah.
Scallops. It holds the weight of scallops as well. We have a new wine this year, which we're very proud of. We've been planting our Riesling. I've been working on our Riesling here on this site for the last 2 to 3 years now, and we finally have our first vintage of 2013 Riesling, which we're all very excited about. We all believe that the Narromada Bench and the Okanagan Valley can produce some fantastic Rieslings. This Riesling for us, again, is all about soil and site. So you'll see that even though that this has got residual sugar, natural residual sugar, again, it's all about the acid line and the aromatics of this wine.
Nice green apple aromas coming for me here.
With Riesling as well, at the moment, because it's just a young wine, we're also getting a lot of the flower notes, so honeysuckle, a little bit of even melon. I'm not sure if you smell melon flowers, but melon flowers and all those sorts of lifted perfumed flowers. Jasmine, definitely jasmine. And a little bit of its later age, which will be in about 2 years' time, you'll start to see more of the schisty minerality tones coming through in this wine. So at the moment it's sitting really nicely with its lifted aromatics, but that will fall nicely down into a lower toned wine.
Nice acidity level here. The taste is very long, beautiful wine.
Again, there's not a lot of this wine, so if you are looking to purchase our Riesling, it's probably best to do so as soon as you can. It's a very small quantity, and give it a bit of age as well as tasting it now, and you'll see the change of this wine throughout the season and throughout the years too. This wine will last a good 5 to 10 years, definitely 10 years.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
We're very happy and excited this year with our 2013 season. At the end of our lovely growing season this year, we had a really good cold snap, which means that we could bring in our ice wine this year. And here it is a lovely new packaging for our ice wine, our 2013. This wine is made from 2 different grapes. It's made predominantly from Cabernet Franc and Merlot grapes that we left hanging in the vines until around about the 22nd of November.
Temperature was minus 11 degrees, and harvesting was done before sunrise. Then we pressed immediately, so at the same temperature, and it was about just 4% of the juice compared to regular juice what we having after pressing. So this is why the wine is so expensive and so concentrated in flavors and aromas.
The unique thing about ice wine is because you get such a small volume compared to the actual large amount of grapes that come in, they actually are frozen little berries that come in too. So when we're actually pressing, you only get maybe 2 or 3 drops every time we actually push on the grapes. So it takes a good 4 or 5 hours each cycle compared to the normal 2. So we're spending a lot of time making sure that when the ice wine comes in, that it's done properly, nice and cold. And again, once it is pressed, it goes into a very, very slow ferment for about 7 weeks. This wine here was actually fermented for 8 weeks before we decided it was in balance and we stopped the fermentation. It's a nice little wine. It's shown a lot of Cabernet Franc characteristics, as well as a little bit of Merlot as well. The other thing we're actually seeing from this wine, because of its concentration, is a lot of cranberries coming through. So it's an excellent wine when you're looking at Christmas, going with turkey or anything that actually has cranberry sauce in it too.
And very concentrated apricot aromas.
This wine sits really well with if you're doing a nice dinner party and you finish the evening with some cheeses and some dried fruits. So this is a nice little aperitif for after dinner, and Oleg really likes the sweetness of this wine too.
Yeah, it's a beautiful wine, very yummy, and very classy, and everybody loves it. So this is our 2013 portfolio, which is available in tasting rooms, some stores and restaurants in BC, Alberta, and Ontario now. And we always welcome online clients. We have special discounts for our online clients. Please go our website, morainewinery.com, buy wine, and we will be happy to send it to you.
Should you have any questions too, please feel free to email them through. I'm more than happy to discuss our wines in a little bit more detail should you want that. Now I think we should probably head up to our patio to taste our new 2013 reds and our 2012 reds as well.
Now we move to our beautiful patio with Okanagan Lake behind us, and our vineyard on the background there. And I would like to introduce our sales manager, Lori, and she is joining us and will help us to describe wines in proper English for you guys.
Lori is the person that you're most likely to meet when you come to our cellar door tasting room. She's very experienced and very knowledgeable, and loves to welcome new people as well. It's a very friendly atmosphere here. We are open to any sort of discussion about wine, and we love to educate people too. So if you're more than willing to come out, Lori will be the person here most likely to take you through our wines. We would like to introduce our new red wines to you. We have 4 this season. We have first of all, we'll start with our 2012 Malbec, which is a 2012 vintage. And our Malbec grapes are actually grown right behind you here. What's special about our 2012 Malbec is that it was a really lovely growing season for this wine and these grapes. And we're able to let these grapes sit on the vine for a nice deal of time this year. We bottle it in the 2013 season, so it's for release now. It is a lovely wine. It's got a really deep, dark colour and abundance of aromatics. Lots of plums and cherries. I'm not sure, what are you picking up, Laurie?
Get just a little hint of spice in there too.
Peppery and spicy, definitely.
And I'm getting a lot of strawberries and
Red fruit.
red fruit, yeah. Raspberry even, yeah.
Mm-hmm. It's a unique little wine. You don't often see a pure Malbec grown and made into a single varietal wine, but we really wanted to show this wine off in our site, so we made a decision to actually make this as a single varietal. It is aged in oak for a good 12 months, and just naturally we leave it there and just nurture it along the way. And when we feel that the tannins are in the right structure, in the right direction, we take it out of barrel and we bottle it here on site. Our next new wine that we have out this year is our 2012 Syrah. Again, it's like another little unique wine that we're making here. It's very difficult to grow. It tends to, again, like the Viognier, need a long growing season. We're lucky on the site here. As you can see, we've got quite a steep slope which prolongs our ripening at the end of the season, which allows us to actually ripen our 2012 Syrah. With our Syrah, it was again held in oak for a good 12-13 months before we took it out and again let it settle and bottled on site. With the Syrah, we have quite a lot of tannin coming through, a lot of more tannin structure, so it tends to hold a lot longer with aging. So this wine will hold for a good 7 years, but you're getting a lot more deep fruit and tobacco characters coming through.
There's a lot of floral aromas in this wine, and dark chocolate.
And for me, this wine is really peppery, strong white pepper taste, and nice steak wine.
Lamb chops.
Lamb chops, yeah, lamb chops. Rosemary and lamb chops would be great.
Mm-hmm.
We also have another very special addition to our range this year, our 2012 Pinot Noir, which was grown also on our site. Not this site here, another site that's just further down the road. There's 2 vineyards and they're named after Oleg and Svetlana's daughter, and this was grown on the Sofia block. The thing with Pinot Noir, it tends to be nicknamed as the difficult or the teenage grape to grow. It can be a very tricky grape to grow, but once it's actually grown properly and handled properly, we can come up with some really lovely fruit. And what we're doing at the moment, we're really focusing on our vineyard and our vineyard practices for our Pinot Noir to make sure that the aromatics and the structure come through in this wine. With Pinot Noir, we handle it very gently, and in the fermentation period, we're just pretty much letting the temperature come up, and then when it gets to a good 28, 32 degrees, we're pushing what's called the cap down just to get some more structure and aromatics. So with our Pinot Noir, unlike the rest of our reds, it is a little bit different handling. It's more about how it's grown rather than necessarily how we make it in the winery. So this is our vineyard grape, and this is our vineyard wine that we need to really focus on the most. Tons and tons of the earthy characteristics coming through, thyme, definitely any sort of sage, any bristles of rosemary as well coming through. If you leave it a little bit later in the season, you'll get more of the berry aromatics, but at the moment it's definitely mushrooms and sage and rosemary and thyme coming in.
So I will say this wine has a lot of character compared to to many Pinots what is available around, and we have a very good media support for this wine. We already been chosen about 5-6 times by Visa Infinite as a featured Pinot Noir in VQA stores, and we also got a medal from international competitions already.
This wine actually does make me think of a really nice dinner with like beef or like pork, or definitely pork. It's got that meatiness to it.
It also goes really well with salmon, smoked salmon or salmon that's been cooked on a barbecue. It's got a lovely acidity that holds fish. It doesn't push over the fish too much, it just sits nicely with it. So you can enjoy Pinot Noir with a good steak and also right down to salmon as well.
We have ample parking, and we have a wonderful friendly tasting room. We have a lovely picnic area. A lot of people bring their own picnic and just enjoy the sun and the beautiful patio. And we even have a bocce set they can play, and we really encourage that friendly family atmosphere. We actually even have a little kids area with toys.
We have one more wine that I'd like to introduce to you today. It's our new 2013 Cliffhanger Red. This is a very popular wine in our winery, and we love to make it. For me, it's about showing the 2013 vintage in an early stage. Normally you wouldn't see our 2013s released until about this time next year. So this is in 2015, you wouldn't normally see our reds. So our Cliffhanger Red is about showing the vintage and the season, and in a fun way, just so we can enjoy the wine. This is a predominantly Merlot blend that's been in oak for about 2-3 months, just to give it a hint of texture and structure, but this is more about fruit and season. So our 2013 season was all about a nice slow start with a finish that lasted for quite a long time. So with this here, you actually see it in the wine actually holds quite a lot of length. This is all about fruit and aromatics and the fun of the harvest.
This one has such a soft, rounded, balanced flavor to it. It's very, it's like soft, smooth tannins. And I think that's why everyone's so crazy about it in the wine shop. It's just very approachable, and it really would lend itself to many foods, but it's just really approachable.
And also it has a distinctive chocolatey taste that people like. Yeah.
And a long vanilla finish, I find.
Again, strawberries or any even chocolate dipped strawberries would be great with this wine, just relaxing with some dessert or milk chocolate or dark chocolate after dinner, and this wine would go really nicely with that as well.
So our wines are available in most BC VQA stores and Okanagan liquor stores. So just feel free to buy, or you can order online, and or just simply come to our tasting room and enjoy the atmosphere, the fun atmosphere what we have here. And we really we're really glad to see you guys here.
We also have a great wine club that we started last year, and we have many members, and you get discounts when you order through the wine club, and you can order online, and it gets delivered right to your door, so that's kind of an awesome feature for everybody. You also get invited to special functions, you get VIP treatment, and of course the discounts are big for everybody, but wine club's an awesome way to go, and you're sure to get all of our new releases as soon as they come out, and you get things before it's sold out.
Well, thanks heaps for having a look at our video and our new wines with us. We really appreciate you taking the time to do that. We'd also like to just take a moment and just say thanks heaps to the vines for all their hard work, and 2014 looks like it's going to be a great season. We've had a great start. Just had some rain now too, so here's to the 2014 season.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Cheers.